Hi there and welcome to Voice Lesson 5. I'm David Moyer, and as you can hear, my voice is letting go. Why? Because I've been having a little trouble with esophageal reflux. I've made one of the lessons previous on the same day, and here I am again, but it is early afternoon. So we're now going to do what's called correct breathing for good vocal production. And that means the same breathing is what you use for singing or speaking. Here we go. Reviewing the first two facets of good vocal production briefly. Mental awareness. How are you going to sing? Beautifully and freely. Number 2, posture. My head is speech level, as Seth Riggs teaches in his book, and still I believe teaches live, as well as having people who teach for him. I think even his daughter's even teaching, and perhaps his wife as well. Good job, Seth. Keep up the good work. Speech level. Now, make sure that you look straight at the wall and don't let your head do this as you look straight at the wall, because you're really tipping your head. Those poor little vocal bands are only about this long from here to here. And it doesn't take much to throw them basically the equivalent of a football field. So if you go like this when you're singing, then you just threw them about a half a football field. And it's not healthy. This tube needs to stay straight. The head needs to stay level so that when you blow the air, push it through your lungs and it blows across the bands, and the bands come together. The bands are in their natural tensile strength, and they're not being interfered with neck or jaw muscles or tongue muscle. None of those three are involved. And that's in one of my 3 weeks ago, I said the 3 checks for good vocal freedom. Okay? That has to do with speech too. Keep that in mind. If you speak it right, you can sing it right. Bet you can't do that yet, unless you already studied and learned how to do it with someone else or me. Okay, breath, head level, posture, rib cage, comfortably lifted and expanded, comfortably lifted and expanded. Shoulders loose, arms hanging loose about the shoulders. Sitting up straight or standing up straight. Not tense or not relaxed, but poised with the energy of a dancer in action. Yes, you have to start there and it goes up from there. And here's an inside trick. When you sing quieter, you have to energize even more with your body, or else your tone will just fall flat and dull. As exciting as a speed bump in a parking lot. My wife likes to say that. Her name's Kathy Mangione, and yes, she is Chuck Mangione's first cousin. She is with me and is a classical pianist. She doesn't teach voice anymore because it's so difficult to help people understand that healthy singing will really help them. So if you get a chance, and I would encourage you, look up the magazine on the internet, The Guardian. I believe it's Guardian. And the article is, why do singers like Adele keep losing their voices? Read it. I went to her team of doctors, Dr. Renee Gupta, and she told me, David, well, I chose after I knew how to sing right. I chose to sing wrong. And I damaged my instrument. I've had 2 surgeries to correct it. First one did well, second one not so well. We'll see if it's in God's plan for me to have a third one. And if I do, if God will bless me with a new voice, or rather, somewhat of my old voice that I used to have. Well, we have 5.5 minutes left. Here comes the breath. Ribcage comfortably high, expanded. Sitting up straight, standing up straight. Breath should be silent, in through the mouth. It travels downward and outward, expanding all the non-bony areas of your lower body. We call that the intercostal muscle set. So your abdomen, which is huge, that huge abdominal muscle structure there, should stick out or move outward as you fill the lungs. And sides between the pelvis and the floating ribs, that should expand out. On the back, between the pelvis and floating ribs, should expand out also. And if you're truly doing it right, your buttocks will expand somewhat and you'll raise up a little bit. Watch me as I breathe right. See me come up a little bit on the end? I didn't do that. It's my breath and proper alignment. Alignment means correct posture. Practice doing that, taking in enough breath to fill yourself completely, and then go a little bit beyond it to where it just hurts a bit, and you're stretching to get more air. Because no pain, no gain. You, my friend, man, woman, boy, girl, you are becoming a vocal athlete. I have a story about that proves that when I had to go in for a heart exam. We'll take that up perhaps briefly in the next lesson, or some of the lessons, a little bit of each, till we get to lesson 10. Here we go, taking the breath again. Mental awareness, singing beautifully and freely. Posture, rib cage comfortably lifted and expanded, sitting up straight, standing up straight, arms hanging loosely about my shoulders, shoulders loose, head level, speech level. Seth Riggs uses that term, and I do too. Speech level. Make sure you do not raise the head, look straight at the wall, and we do the breath again. Notice how my face doesn't change in shape. A lot of people go like this. No, and they also do from their nose. Rather, they breathe through their nose. They'll go, boy, is that loud. Don't breathe through your nose. Breathing through your nose helps you recognize that coolness is your nasolabials opening up so that the other little caves inside your head can be accessed by the resonance that your voice makes. Here we go. I'm going to try a yawn sigh now. Did you notice nothing changed? And it shouldn't. I'm in my posture, correct singing and speaking posture, or I speak. Friend, either you are closing your eyes to a situation which you do not wish to acknowledge, or you are unaware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Yeah, I did that speech. I opened for Bob Hope at the Palladium when I was the leader of the Christies in the early 80s, 82, 81, somewhere around there. Anyway, and got to work with Bob Hope on stage in terms of opening. Got to meet him, met Joanne Wordley from Hootenanny, and did that speech with the Christies singing behind me. Now we have about a minute and 20 seconds, or 40 seconds, so we're going to practice breathing again and doing yawn sigh. Once you've done that, practice the following. Moving the air with a SH, like shh. Make sure your lips are shaped like a little trumpet, not big sides like that. Shh. Shh. So push the arrow out, take another breath. As you run out of air, concentrate, because you must, on making all the non-bony areas, front, side, back, and bottom, push equilaterally on the sound. That way, you'll get a really good vibrato, not so much a poorly produced vibrato, which will be kind of waggly, like, ah, it'll go, ah. That's me at 74. Okay, we'll try the breath again. Mental awareness, freely and beautifully. Rib cage comfortably lifted and expanded. Sitting up straight, standing up straight. Arms hanging loose, shoulders. See you next time.